Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of our Facebook and YouTube in the neighborhood. Nice to have everyone with us. How is everyone doing? Jim, looks like you got something new on. Tell us a bit about your hat.
My friend Josh gave me that. Remember we talked about Notorious yesterday? Well, he gave me this hat. And yes, it is ironic that a guy that owns a salon gives out hats.
Saying that he wants extra parenting time at 1:45 until 5:30 in the morning, so that's been fun.
Whoa.
Not only do we get the
Right.
extra time during the day, we now get the extra time at night.
That kid is 24/7, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah. so great.
So what do you do?
We I try and put him back to bed, and then it's just not going to happen. So then we do crafts and read stories, and we have a full nocturnal school day.
School at night.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it's fun.
wow,
It's
and
great.
your clock, like I noticed that a little while we were getting set up, Jack walked through the shot.
Yeah.
So you got like your entire calendar is
It is. It totally is. I'm used to my teenager sleeping till like 1, and he's been getting up at like 8 in the morning. It's wild over here, you guys. It's wild.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever read Lord of the Flies? Oh,
Russ, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I it's okay.
How's it going in your world, Rusty?
The planet's still moving, and things are still going forward. It was sunny yesterday. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no huge complaints. That
It was
just the
a
same
great
ones
day.
everyone else has. Like, when can I go see people again, and all that kind of stuff.
We should have a pool on that as to when we can go see people.
Sure.
Ooh, okay.
A little
I'm
bet.
in. $1,000 September 30th.
Is that what yours? September 30th?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But what I do love is that I get to see you guys every day. I get to see you guys way more than I normally would. So this
I
is
know,
like
right?
the greatest thing in my life. Yeah.
Okay, I just got a message from Rob that says he thinks.
Oh, Dave just hit.
Oh, hot, fancy. There he is.
How do we do that? We didn't even go. Woo!
He's not saying anything though, so I'm worried that
Yeah,
this
no.
isn't a
I think he's frozen in time.
Oh, there you go.
So how's the fondue house coming along, Russ?
Oh, we're doing okay. We made these packages for people, so they can come by and pick it up, and you can make fondue at home. And we're launching something for Easter because there's a lot of people that we know are home alone and don't get to hang out with their family or their friends over Easter. So we're making special kits for people just on their own, because usually the fondue's for 2. So we're making kind of a mini one with a small chocolate fondue, so you can FaceTime your family and you can have fondue on your own, and you're not going to have leftovers for 9 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, we're trying to do that just to acknowledge all those people that are truly alone during the holiday. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, that would be tough, eh? Imagine, that would be tough.
yeah.
I have Tracy, so I'm lucky, but man, I couldn't. I'd go stir crazy with
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. I think I can tell which of my friends on Instagram are completely alone, because the amount of posts. It's sort of the content of the posts. It's interesting to watch. So I try and reach out and make sure everyone's okay. And we do FaceTime hangs with a lot of our friends every night, so it's nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those happening, isn't there?
Yeah.
And speaking of food, the next couple of days we're talking food a lot, because one of the issues that we know is food security is a deal. And so we're going to talk to a couple of heroes in our city who are helping make sure some people who normally wouldn't get fed. So that's coming up a little later on.
Fantastic.
I was hoping my hair could be bigger, but That's the way it goes. But you know what, though? Oh, wait a minute. The phones are they're ringing off the hook in our studio here.
Why?
And the phone banks behind us. Wow, I can hardly stop. People are saying, wait, is there a craft? Is there going to be a craft? Do we have craft music?
Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday in the Neighborhood, Craft Time with Mandy Stobo. Now, today we're doing things a little differently, as you can see. So I still need my music to transform into my studio, but we're going to have a bit of a different camera. Really? Ready? All right. Welcome, everyone, to my studio. So today, we're doing a fun craft, because what's happening this weekend, guys?
Easter.
So we need scissors, a pen, and some glue, and some paper. If you don't have Easter color paper, that's okay. You can just use white paper and color it any color you want. So the fun thing about this is I think you might see a theme in my crafts, and they can take a long time if you want. You can make them like an everyday thing, because I know for me, I'm running out of ideas with my kids. So what we're going to do, this is a little bit different, but I'll try and show you this backwards and upside down. You want to draw two kind of curves there.
Yes.
Kind of there. One here, and then you're going to do a couple of ears. Is it working upside down and backwards?
Yeah, you're nailing it. I could never do that.
Okay, so then there's your shape. You can vary the curves, and you can make thin ones, big ones, whatever.
Yeah.
You're also going to take a piece of white paper.
Yes.
And you're going to just do a bunch of these. Okay?
Right.
So you see that?
Whoa.
Little tail? Okay,
I
so
think I know what's coming.
I know. So you want to have two of those per bunny. So then you're going to cut it out quickly. And this is very exciting because it's going to be quite fun. And if you have more windows in your house, then it's going to take a longer time to do this craft, which is great for all you moms out there.
Is this Is this a 2 to 3 month project or a?
No, it's just a couple of days. But they can also grow like rabbits in your house, so it can be for months if you want to be Australia. Okay, so then you cut out the tail, and then you're gonna glue it on to the bunny. So you want a tail on both sides, because what we're gonna do here is we are going to make a bunch of bunnies. And you are going to put them on your window, so these will be facing you, and they'll be facing outside the window.
Wow, so smart.
Right? Isn't that so fun?
Oh, that's really
then
sweet.
You can put a bunch of bunnies on your windows and say Happy Easter to everyone while safely social distancing.
No, you're the best.
All right, that was Craft Time with Mandy Stobo.
That's awesome.
Back to you, Dave.
Do we have to get you back to your get you back, Mandy?
You do.
Ready?
Oh, that was wild.
Right.
Does your stomach get queasy when you do that?
Was like $500 budget we blew on that transition. That's the kind of technical and production value.
Plus the craft.
Plus the craft.
Yeah.
So good. Isn't that good though? You can fill every window in your house with bunnies, and it'll be a nice thing for people when they're on their walk. And it's just such a lovely craft.
I think I have an add-on for you, Mandy. You could do pin the tail on the bunny first. Oof. And then put it up too, right?
Whoa. Yeah. That's really smart. Yeah.
That's like another day right there.
Yeah. Is that when you blindfold them and give them a bat? No, that's different. You give them the bunny tail.
No, we're about 2 weeks away from that. Yeah.
That's a good craft, though, because then you can fix all of your home repairs for a couple weeks, too, by the time.
Oh, one sec, guys. I got something coming in from the control room. Hello?
Oh.
Yes? Oh, a lot of calls coming in, you guys. What's the question? Oh, they want to know if the internet is still funny.
Yeah. the internet. See, Mandy, what he did there?
Well, here we go.
He did a great smooth transition. Oh,
The internet is funny.
Okay, Dave, I got a couple questions before you get into the internet. It's funny.
All right.
What day of the week is it?
No clue.
Come on,
Tuesday.
try. And what's the date?
That one.
Yeah, right. You know cheating.
Oh, okay.
It's my sister's birthday.
It's Mandy's sister Guinevere's birthday.
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
That is her All Saints name, though. Amazing.
So as you can see, it's very difficult to remember what the day is during this process.
Mm-hmm.
That's the theme of the internet is funny. First image up. I would love to see it at any moment.
Any moment.
And there it is. Remember when we were little and had underwear with the days of the week on them? Yeah. Those would be helpful right now. See?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Wouldn't that be helpful? Today's Monday. Today's Tuesday. Okay, and the next day. The next one is them. What day is it? Me. Season 3, Episode 9, because we're all binging. Yeah. There we are. Thank you for the time, folks, on the internet is funny. I will be finding more stories for you tomorrow.
The internet.
So funny.
Is funny.
I think we're doing this show just to make ourselves laugh.
Where's
so
your baby?
Now, we have a... oh, wait. Control room. Yes.
What's happening?
Oh, they're just saying that we have a very special guest introduced, but we thought we would introduce it with Mandy Stobo's Coloring Time. Mandy, tell us about our coloring page today.
Well, our coloring page is of one of my good friends.
Yeah.
He is an advocate for our city. He does so many incredible things. He just transformed his business from a group event setting to an online kind of forum where you get to learn a new thing for digital marketing every week. He's brilliant. He's beautiful. His name is Mike Morrison, and this is our coloring page for the day. I think Rob will have stories over.
Look at him.
I'll just show you quickly what I colored.
Oh.
And then, so yeah, I want to see your Mike Morrisons, you guys. I want to see it all. This is Boogie and Mindy, too, so we can't forget about those guys.
Yes. Very well done, Mandy.
Thank you very much.
I just realized that the last time I did this Michael Morrison ad, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Contacting, yeah. Okay,
Oh, boy.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, boy.
I think if we just say his name a lot, he appears.
Mike
Mike's Bloggity. It's Mike Bloggity. It's hard to say over and over.
Mike Joy.
Michael.
Happy Thursday, everyone.
Hey.
Wait, what?
Thursday.
What happened Wednesday?
See what he did?
I love it. Oh, it's colored now, Mandy. Oh, that's
I know.
awesome.
I'll text it to you right now.
Oh, I love it.
I love you.
That's good. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you all.
Hey, Mike,
Good
can
to
I
see
do?
you.
I've only ever written one joke that I was ever
I
proud
know.
of, but
Oh, okay.
can I do my joke again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it.
This is my Mike Morrison joke. It goes like this. A podcaster, author, a public speaker, entrepreneur, and conference producer, now online conference producer, walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "What can I get you, Mike?"
I love it.
It's great.
Jim, can we get a bit more smile? Anything?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
I have, like, in my blogger world, I have, like, a rate card, so when people want to work with me, I send them this PDF document, and that joke, Dave, is, like, the first thing they see.
Good.
Amazing.
Anytime I have to do interviews, I have to, like, talk, like, they're like, what should we put under your name? And I'm like, just pick a job. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'll fill it up.
Oh, I love you. Oh,
How
I
are
miss
you? You're a guy who's connected to everyone. What's your sense of all of this, Mike, and where are we heading, and how are you feeling?
A, B, and C questions right there.
Yeah.
Jeez. I thought we were going to talk about like Buffy reruns or something. No, I think it's been, I think every week is a different stage. So I think the first week was like shock and sadness. Second week was like, hey, what am I going to do? Third week was sort of implementing it. Now week 4, I don't know, it feels like we're sort of almost used to it in a way. And so we know that we have to do this for the next little while. So like sort of just get in the groove. And here in Calgary, it's like starting to be warmer, and I think that's going to help a lot, so we can get outside, at least sit on our porches and, get some fresh air and stuff like that. But it's been interesting to see, I'm a small business guy, and just seeing all the small businesses like pivot, and, obviously we all have a long way to go, and there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of like heartbreak, letting go of your staff and closing things and stuff like that. But it's been also seeing names and seeing people pop up and sort of not sit on the couch too long has been really inspiring.
Yeah. It's a terrifying time, and one of your assignments on this particular show was to help us, or for you to identify a hero, somebody that you think is making a difference and doing it well. And I almost think I should bring her on so she gets to hear you talk about her. Does that make more sense?
Sure, that'd be great.
Let me do that. This is how all good shows work, Dave. Everyone just watch me work my phone.
And I'll just clarify to anyone watching, all the technical difficulties today are my fault, because I'm the only Android user, and they had to switch the entire show for me, so I'm so sorry.
Notice we didn't say that, Mike. We were leaving you off the hook, man.
Tell us about your show, though. You're doing a fun thing, aren't you?
Yeah, so we do Social at Home. It's my new online webinar experience, and we have people that come on every week, and we talk to digital marketers from across the country about helping brands and small businesses and people navigate digital marketing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Hi. How are you? Yes.
It feels like we're being set up on a date, Dave.
Okay. So Lourdes, let me explain what's going on. So that first of all, I think you know everybody. I don't know if you know Russ Broom, the one with the guitar, but that's Russ. You know Mandy Stobo. You know Jim Button.
Of course.
I think you can see Rob, but I don't know if Rob, can the world see you?
Hi, Rob.
That's Rob. The world cannot see you, but the reason everyone can see us is because of Rob. And Mike Morrison. Now, Lourdes, before we let you talk, Mike Morrison came on, and I said, Mike, I want to know today, who can we acknowledge as somebody who's doing a lot of help? And he immediately said, we got to talk about Lourdes, which is partly why you're on the show. And then Mandy has something for you. So, Mike, you take it away, and then we'll chat with you, Lourdes.
Yeah, so hi, Lourdes. So when Dave asked me about 2 days ago, to think of someone that a Calgarian or someone that's been, trying to find the lights in all this darkness, it was probably 5 seconds later, I was like, Lourdes, and I implore anyone listening to just Google the name Lourdes Swan in Google News. Al Jazeera Network just did a big story on her, and so Lourdes, I often work with her, and her bio takes half the time, but she's created three nonprofits. Fresh Roots, which is takes a city of Calgary old bus and takes basically a grocery store and brings it to places that are called food deserts, so places where it's really hard to get food, where it might be hard with people with limited mobility, accessibility, things like that. So they get fresh food at a discounted price. It's so good. She also runs Leftovers, which was quintessentially important last week when all the restaurants were closing. Her group went around and got all the food. The restaurants donated it and made sure all the homeless shelters got it. And she also does something in the summer called Moonlight Market, where it's like a farmer's market food truck thing, but everything is super affordable. And on top of all that stuff, she doesn't talk about herself, but Lourdes also owns a spa, which has had to close and lay off her staff. And she owns, I say urban development. I don't know her other job.
That's right.
Something like that. And on top of all this stuff, unfortunately, Lourdes had to postpone her wedding, which was coming up. And it's just unbelievable to me that she had all this personal stuff, her her business, her wedding, all these things, and the first thing she did when all this was happening was make sure that those who have trouble getting food were taken care of and making sure the restaurants were taken care of. And she's just so selfless. This is unbelievable. So I wanted to make sure we gave her a big shout out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mike.
Yay!
That's incredible. Wow.
Isn't that great?
It's
awesome.
unbelievable.
Mike.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, as a small business owner, the biggest thing I took from Lourdes was a few weeks ago. I called her because I was freaking out about something, and she had taken a drive. She was like 2 hours rural, like nowhere, not doing anything you shouldn't do, just in the middle of nowhere. She'd taken the day off, and it never occurred to me during all of this to try to take a day off or take a few hours off, for your mental health, for your relationships, for all that stuff. Like all the small businesses are scrambling. And when she did that, I was like, oh shoot, I need to take a day off. And so, like she's just an example, I think, of how we should all try to navigate this crazy time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
Yay.
Mike.
I agree.
Yeah. Now say something nice about me.
Now
No.
say that. Now.
This is the best first date.
This is basically what dates with me are like.
Now talk about me. Now talk about me.
Lourdes, this is the part where you say, I'm sorry, what's your name again?
No.
I would never do that to Mike.
I know, he's the greatest. The
Okay.
greatest. Well,
And she's a dog. She's a dog. That's really the.
that's the friendship. Well, I have this for you. I want to talk a little bit about so when we did the Dr. Hinshaw portraits, and I partnered with Madame Premier and with Sophie Grace Designs, we were able to raise some funds for Fresh Roots, which is amazing. So it's really, really special for me to be able to send you a portrait of yourself, and I can't wait to send that out to you.
Oh my
I love you. Oh, I'm so glad. Can you hold it up more?
Oh my
so
God,
glad.
thank you
I
so
love you
much.
guys. Oh, thank you. You're changing the world. Same with you, Mike. You guys are such treasures.
Oh,
We
thank
are
you so
lucky to
much
have-
for doing that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I can't wait. I'll send it to you right now.
I love your art so much.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry. So Chino has. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Come to see.
Oh,
buddy.
no,
He's like, why is she making so much noise? I know.
Where's Boogie? Now we need Boogie in the shot.
I don't know.
Thank you
Know
so
where
much,
they are.
Mandy.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for everything you're doing. You're helping so many, and it's so crucial, and we're so grateful.
I've been really fortunate to have an awesome team behind me that can be really nimble and listen to all my crazy ideas and execute them. I think when we first, when everything was started to hit, the team was like, how do we, what if we close? What are we going to do with the seniors and all this? And I was like, close? We're not closing.
No.
We're ramping this up right now. And the team was really awesome, and so I've been really, really lucky in that people, and I think it's Calgary, people just want to help each other, especially in times of crisis, and this is the time for us to get together and look out for each other.
Yeah.
And what's been your sense, Lourdes? You're out as in a safe way with the community, and those of us, there are a lot of people who food security is a real deal and it's scary for them. What is your sense of the people you're contacting?
I think food insecurity is just manifesting itself in so many different ways. So while we think of, homeless shelters or marginalized communities really not having access to food, now it's a lot more people that don't fit that mold. It's students that used to get their food from post-secondaries, which are now closed. It's seniors that, aren't allowed to go to the grocery store. It's families that have lost their income because thousands of jobs have been lost over the last couple weeks. And so I think, when we first started looking at food insecurity, we could really understand who that person is. And now we can't. And I think that's the scariest part about this, but it's a challenge that we can all do together where we can identify, households that are food insecure, and that's kind of been our mission and mantra going forward with this whole thing.
What is, there's a lot of people who, like, because we're all in our houses, we're like, well, I want to help, but I can't, or I don't know what to do. What is your advice to those people who want to be part of the community and who want to help but don't know what to do from their own house?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly different ways, particularly with our organization. I mean, sorry, Chino is just being too much. I think there's a lot we can do from our homes. I think we're actually doing a lot just being home. So for us, when we first started this whole thing, I think half of my staff and my team was in quarantine because they either had been somewhere or living with someone that's high risk, and so they had to stay home. So we just had to make it work. We had to make call lines work and develop a back-end system where people could order groceries online. And so there's different volunteer opportunities just within our organization, and I know other organizations also have those same opportunities. So I would say, just put yourself out there. Make sure you're letting people know that you're available to help, even if you're at home. I think that's still very important.
And a quick question. I have a quick question. What's the best way for people to help you and your organizations out?
So if they are well enough to leave their house, we have a grocery delivery service where everything is contactless and one-to-one. So they can certainly help us deliver groceries. We're always sorting food at the warehouse as well. We just received a 9-pallet donation of food that needs to get distributed. So there's always ways where we can get out of our houses and help our organization. But definitely just be in touch with us. It's rescuefood.ca or freshroots.ca. And we can get in contact with one of my team members and
Don't you love this? We have Mandy, we have Boogie, we have Mike, we have Lourdes, we have Russ, all these people who are contributing so much, and we have me and Jim. So, right?
Well played.
I love you guys.
Just great.
So, Michael, how are you doing your show? Like, how are you doing your social?
Social at home.
All coming on at the same time?
Yeah, so what we do, we use a software called Big Marker. It's like a webinar software. And so the attendees can watch, and then I have about 3 panelists who speak for about 15 minutes each about a specific topic. So tomorrow is about how to market with an extremely newly limited budget. So if businesses are trying to convert to online or we're always online, but now their budgets are completely different, we're going to have 3 of our experts from our regular conferences come and share tips and things like that. So it's been really fun project. I think by having something to do has changed my mental health a lot. The first 2 weeks was really hard. I'm so used to doing things, and also I'm so used to, not to be like tutu, but I've never really needed help before, and so during the floods or fires or whatever, I'm usually like, hey, well, I can go help, I can go do things, because it's never really impacted me. So this is the first time something like this has impacted me, and so the recovery from that, of me being like, okay, wait, no, I need a little bit of help, so getting this new project off the ground, and then now that I have that, I feel like I have the mental capacity to start helping other people. And so Social at Home feels a bit like that. We made it super affordable, so it's $25 for 8 webinars, and that allows me to pay the speakers and things like that, which is really good. So it's been a fun experiment.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
Yeah, I think any small business right now should just try something. So normally the advice is put it out the world, and it has to look really good because there's people that are doing something similar and blah blah blah. But like right now, like nothing besides Dave Kelly Live looks great. So
obviously he hasn't seen the show yet.
Yeah. This is the first episode, right? No, I was kidding. No, but try something. And like we had, we've done 3 webinars, and there's little technical difficulties, and I tend to like freak out because I think people's bar is up here. And my friends were texting me being like, "You're smiling, but your eyes look terrified. It's fine. Like, everything's gonna be. No one is expecting this to be the best thing they've ever seen. So, try something." And you're seeing restaurants converting to curbside delivery. I got food from Hotel Arts, and they came out with. I think you did too, Jim. They came out with the bagpipes, and Moonlight and Ellie. just doing the fondue place that Russell was talking about, like just doing something, converting to something they weren't doing 3 weeks ago. Just doing it and trying something will make, for a whole bunch of reasons, is really beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially your mental health. Hey, Boogie.
Well, I think, the mental health for everyone, and there's something good in a way about the entire world going through the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, it's a reset button in a way, but it's also like, okay, well, I'm not the only one, so I can't ask for help. I can't, call someone if I need to call someone. Like, no one's going to judge you because we're literally all going through the same things. And even if your job hasn't been impacted yet, you're still feeling it just as much as someone who's been laid off. Just everything is just varying degrees. And so, having those conversations, going for walks, like all that stuff, but also like just doing something, like having a project.
I just read in the feed here. Somebody's asking, how did they get access to your social at home?
Oh yeah, so it's socialathome.ca, and we already did 1 webinar, and there's 2 this week, and the ticket, $25, gets you access to all of them, including the one that you missed, kind of thing. So it's gonna, that's how.
Bravo.
Yeah, we have people all across the country, and it's the message is sort of like, no one has a perfect message. We are all going through this together, so let's figure it out. Let's have conversations. Like, can a company start talking about just being a company? Is it okay to tell your customers to like buy something for you right now and stuff like that? And like, no one knows what the right answer is, but let's try to figure it out together.
Yeah.
That's so good.
There's more humanity, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, social at home. Oh, thanks, Mandy. Go ahead. You were fast.
It's a budget thing. We've got the
Normally I have like a full broadcast. Let me just show you this, Mike, because you got to come over when we're allowed. But normally we have a full broadcast studio going on. So
wait, Mandy. Why am I doing all that time travel stuff if you're just walking 2 feet?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
I thought it was a whole realm.
Like, what is going on here?
I love you guys. I'm so proud of you, Mike.
Sorry, Mandy, can you just explain again, why aren't we using the full studio today?
I think Dave was having trouble with his phone.
Yeah.
Hey, well, look at normally.
You're safe, Mike. Nobody's going to pick on you because we had to use this technology.
No, are you so excited, though?
I'm the only Android user in all of Calgary, so I screwed up the whole show. But it is sort of funny because this is your 15th show, and this is the first time this problem came up, so I'm probably actually the only Android user.
Yeah, that's right.
The photos that you take make up for being an Android user.
It's the photos. It's the only reason, I swear.
I know. Oh, wait a sec, you guys. Somebody's come in from our where are we? Where is this again? From our control room. Sorry, from the control room. Yes. Oh, they said, Dave, do you have a story to share before everyone dances? Well, as a matter of fact, I do. So, at the end of the show, usually we dance and I tell a little story. This is my little story in honor of Mike and Lourdes being on our show today. 2 nights ago, we were sitting in front of our new television because we needed a TV upstairs that we could all watch, the kids, and we got to pick a movie, and we watched the new Star Wars. And John was very excited. Everyone was very excited. And Poe, if you know the show, you know Poe. He said this line, which I thought applied to our 2 very special guests today. And Poe said, the first order wins by making us think we are alone. We're not.
I am.
Whoa.
That's
so,
right.
so I said to John, I'm talking to Lourdes and Mike today, and these are two people who remind our city and who remind the country and the world that we're not alone. And if you're feeling food insecure, there are people like Lourdes who are out there who are doing everything they can to make sure you get through. And there's people like Mike who say if your small business or life is going sideways, he's helping you get through. So I just want to say, on behalf of Poe and everyone at Star Wars, thanks to the two of you for doing what you
appreciate
do
it.
and making sure the first order and COVID-19 doesn't win, because you remind us we're not alone. So thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely. That's great.
So now Russ plays our theme and we all dance. And people have been, oh, wait a sec. What does Mike Morrison look like when he dances? What does Lourdes look like when she dances? Well, I think we're going to find out as we dance off our show. Take it from us.
Are we standing up and down?
You're going to dance.
You got to dance. There you go. Wow.
Well done.
You guys
At least you guys didn't see the one where Jim Button twerked. That was